Hello everyone, my name is Monique Apodaca, and I am a candidate in the Masters of Science Education Administration program. I'd like to present my goals to you for the next 1 to over 10 years for my life professionally as well as my life personally. So to begin with, some personal demographics about myself. I was born and raised in Pueblo West, Colorado. Still haven't left. Never hope to leave. I plan to raise my family here as well. And I have all of my teaching experience at this school in the lower right-hand corner, Swallows Charter Academy, which is a K through 12 charter school here in Pueblo West. I only live about 3 minutes from the school, so it is very ideal. I completed my student teaching here in the spring. It was the spring of 2018, leading up to my bachelor's degree graduation. And then right now, currently, I am in my 4th year teaching. So after I student taught at Swallows, I merged into being a 3rd grade teacher, which is what I student taught in. And I taught 3rd grade for 2 years. COVID hit, so I moved up to 4th grade with my 3rd graders, and I taught all of them online for the first half of the semester. The second semester, I merged back into the classroom, having 10 kids in person and 14 of them online, synchronously. And I continued on with 4th grade. I figured, hey, I made the change, so I've stayed here ever since in 4th grade. And right now, I'm having a pretty normal school year. So let's hope it stays that way. Something special about Swallows Charter Academy. It is 25 years old, but we just received the BEST grant 2 years ago in 2020, and a new K through 8 facility was built, and actually just a few days ago we opened a brand new high school facility. So we have brand new furniture, digital touch TVs in our room, which you can somewhat see in the background of this image. We have a beautiful library with a fireplace and learning stairs within it. We have an outdoor classroom where instruction can be completed. And we have a brand new playground that is exquisite. And like I said, that new high school just opened when we came back from Christmas break this year. So some more personal demographics about me. This is my significant other, actually engaged as of Christmas 2021. His name is James. We've been together for quite some time. And then this is our 3-year-old son, Asher. And really, he's my stepson, but we all know how that is. He is basically my own. And we hope to, COVID amidst, start building our first home in August. We've kind of had hopes to do that in August of 2021, as you see listed on the screen, but COVID has the market, particularly housing market, totally upside down. So we are hoping to start building our own house here soon. So as of my educational background, I mentioned a little bit before with my student teaching, I received my Bachelor of Science degree in Liberal Studies from Colorado State University, Pueblo, which is only about 20 minutes from where I live, so I like to keep it local. I received my minor in elementary education, kindergarten through 6th grade, and I have an endorsement and am licensed to teach English from the middle and high school grade levels. As of right now, I am pursuing my Master's of Science degree in Education Administration from, of course, none only than Fort Hays State University. So moving into my goals, my professional goals are pretty much the same from 1 to 10 years. I, of course, got my degree in teaching, so I hope to use that degree for quite some time. I do love being inside the classroom. So one of my goals is to continue teaching intermediate elementary ages and, of course, to continue my own personal education. Something I've been working on myself before I have any children of my own is maxing out my professional development hours. I want to not only continue after I've maxed out, but I want to be as educated as possible in all areas of study, especially being so close to children in the classroom. So that is my main goal in the next 10 years, is to grow my own education and to continue doing what I love, which is teaching. As I stated before, my personal goals for the next 5 years are really based around my family. I want to build my first house. Like I said, we just got engaged, so we'll have a wedding to plan here in the next few years. I'd like to start my own family, so having my own kids. I would love to take up some type of hobby because school really does take up a lot of my life right now. So I would love to take up golf particularly. And I want to continue traveling. Near, far, I love to travel. Moving on to my personal goals for 6 to 10 years, a little bit further into my future, is continuing to grow my family. With my stepson, I think I'd like to have about 3 kids, so that's going to be in the next few years coming. I want to really start living comfortably and doing what I hope for my future. So buying a boat, buying a camper, still traveling, and just, like I said, living comfortably, not having to stress about anything too large. And then my professional goals for after 10 years. So where I see this putting me is probably mid to late 30s, 10 years. I hope to become an assistant principal first, just to get my feet wet. I don't want to go into a principal position over my head, and kind of just learn the ins and outs of being an actual principal by assisting my leader, my principal. So I would hope to first become an assistant principal if the opportunity presented itself. And then after a few years of learning to be an assistant principal, feel comfortable enough to take on that role of becoming a building principal. And honestly, I think it's because I work at a kindergarten through 12th grade school. I don't particularly have a school level in mind when it comes to becoming a principal one day. I think it's because I see my building principal doing it all. He, of course, has help. We have multiple assistant principals at the school that I currently reside in, but they oversee multiple grade levels. They see children that are 5, but they also see children who are 18. So I'm not entirely sure that I have a school level in mind, whether that's intermediate or primary or high school, middle school. I'm not exactly sure I have a school level in mind for becoming a principal yet. And of course, way later on, probably 40 years from now, I hope to retire as a principal. And I think at that point, I would like to retire as a high school level principal. As for my next 10 years after that personally, so again, this is going to put me near my 40s at the time. I hope to become heavily involved in my children's lives. Even with being a principal, I really hope to be the person that can go and do this for their child and take their child here after school. Family is a really huge part to me. I hope to continue traveling, hopefully more broad, and to eventually, like I stated before, retire comfortably. So why Fort Hays State University? There's a few reasons. Number one, the cost was incredible for a master's degree. I think overall we spend about $10,000 getting our master's degree, which is extremely nice considering we're all teachers or in a teaching position. Second, it was an online program and self-paced, which is wonderful because we all, I think, have an idea of how stressed teachers are in their everyday life. we manage everybody else, but we don't have a lot of time for our own well-being. Third, my alma mater, Colorado State University, does not offer a leadership program. And actually, as of 2022, I think in August, they are going to start offering a doctorate program for this, but you have to have a master's degree to get there first. So this is very, very nice that Fort Hays has opened their university up to us outside of state. And finally, there have been multiple teachers and administrators at my current school that have went through Fort Hays State for the education administration program. So it was very nice to know that the credits would transfer without having to do all of that research on my own. And Fort Hays came highly recommended from those teachers and administrators. My initial expectations of Fort Hays State University is that I would generally just learn to run a school building and what are the ins and outs of running a school building. But Fort Hays has exceeded my expectations with learning about a school building. I've learned data, leadership styles, different forms of collaboration. Something really interesting to me were the legalities behind being an administrator. A lot of those I think would be beneficial for teachers to know. More about special education, and of course we learned about finance, which is a huge part of being any principal. Probably the thing that scares me the most about being one. And so those are my goals for the next however so many years of my life.